You think you know what your dog does the moment you close that front door? You don't. And when you find out the truth, you'll never leave the house the same way again. Most dog owners picture the same thing. Their dog walks over to their favorite spot, curls up, and waits. Patient, content, maybe a little bored. But here's what nobody tells you. The moment that door clicks shut, something happens inside your dog that goes far deeper than boredom, far deeper than simply missing you. And most owners spend years, sometimes their dog's entire life, never knowing what's really going on. What you're about to hear isn't just heartwarming. Some of it will make you rethink everything about how you say goodbye. 1. The first 30 seconds are the hardest. The moment you leave, your dog doesn't just feel alone. They feel like you disappeared from the world. Here's something most owners don't understand about how dogs experience time. You step out for 20 minutes to grab groceries. You think, it's just 20 minutes, they'll be fine. But your dog has no concept of 20 minutes. Researchers studying canine cognition found that dogs don't process time the way humans do. They don't count minutes. They don't tell themselves you'll be back soon. What they experience is the absence of you. Full stop.
Your scent begins fading from the air almost immediately. The sounds you make, your footsteps, your voice, your breathing, all of it disappears at once. And for an animal whose entire emotional world is built around your presence, that silence hits like a wall. This is why dogs often stand at the door for several minutes after you leave. They're not waiting for you to come back. They're still processing the fact that you're gone. That moment, those first 30 seconds, is the emotional peak of their entire day. Not the walk, not dinner, the goodbye.
2. What they do with your smell. After you leave, your dog does something that most owners never see, but researchers have documented over and over again. They go looking for you. Not by running to the window or barking at the door. They search for you through scent. Dogs have up to 300 million olfactory receptors in their nose. Humans have around 6 million. That means your dog experiences smell the way you experience sight. It is their primary reality. When you leave, your scent lingers on everything you've touched. Your pillow, your couch cushion, the jacket you wore yesterday still hanging on the chair. Studies using hidden cameras have shown that many dogs, after their owner leaves, will seek out an item that carries the owner's scent and stay near it, or on top of it, for hours. They're not being dramatic. They're doing the only thing available to them. They're finding the closest version of you they can reach. This is also why dogs who sleep in their owner's bed often handle alone time better than dogs who don't. It's not about being spoiled. It's about having access to a scent that says, you are safe, you are loved, you are not alone. Your smell is not just comforting to your dog. To them, your smell is you. 3. The dogs who fall apart and why it's not their fault. Now, here's where it gets harder to hear. For some dogs, being left alone doesn't just feel uncomfortable. It feels like a crisis. You've probably heard the term separation anxiety, but most people think it means a dog that whines a little or chews a shoe out of spite. That's not what separation anxiety actually is. Researchers at the University of Lincoln found that dogs with separation-related behavior don't act out because they're bored or badly trained. They act out because they are in a genuine state of panic. Their cortisol levels, the stress hormone, spike dramatically within minutes of the owner leaving. Their heart rate rises. Their breathing becomes shallow and rapid. Some dogs pace for hours. Some bark until their throats are raw. Some destroy furniture, not out of anger, but because the physical act of chewing releases calming chemicals in their brain. They are self-medicating. They are trying to survive an emotional state that feels completely unbearable to them. And here's the part that breaks most owners when they finally understand it. Your dog is not doing this to punish you. They're doing this because you are the center of their entire world. And without you, that world stops making sense. But there's something even more important coming. Because it's not just the dogs who struggle that you need to understand. It's what the dogs who seem completely fine are actually doing. And the answer might surprise you even more. 4. The dogs who seem fine. The hidden truth. What about the dogs who don't cry? The ones who seem totally calm when you leave? The ones you've always assumed are just independent, low maintenance, easy? Here's what researchers discovered that changed everything. A landmark study using heart rate monitors on dogs found something shocking. Dogs who showed no visible signs of distress when their owners left, no whining, no pacing, no destruction, still had significantly elevated heart rates for extended periods after the owner's departure. They weren't calm. They had learned to be quiet. There is a difference between a dog who is okay and a dog who has given up trying to show you they're not. Some dogs, especially those who were ignored or punished when they showed distress, learn to suppress their reaction. They shut down instead of acting out. To the outside world, they look fine. But inside, the same emotional storm is happening. This is why the absence of visible symptoms is not the same as the absence of suffering. Your dog doesn't need to destroy your couch to be struggling. Sometimes the quietest dogs carry the heaviest weight. 5. What your goodbye is actually teaching them. Here's something that will completely change how you walk out the door every single morning. The way you say goodbye to your dog is actively shaping how they experience every minute of your absence. Most owners do one of two things. Either they make a huge emotional production out of leaving. Long hugs, baby talk, multiple I love yous, drawn out farewells that stretch on for several minutes. Or they feel guilty and sneak out without saying anything, hoping to avoid triggering their dog. Both of these are mistakes, and both of them make the alone time harder for your dog. Here's why. When you make your departure a big emotional event, your dog absorbs that energy. They feel the heightened emotion in your voice. They register the unusual behavior, and their brain marks this moment as significant. That primes them for distress the moment the door closes.
When you sneak out without warning, your dog goes from your presence to your absence with zero transition. No signal, no preparation, just gone. That kind of sudden disappearance builds anxiety over time in ways most owners never connect back to their own behavior. What actually helps is something much simpler. A calm, brief, consistent goodbye ritual. The same words, the same tone, the same short sequence, every single time. Not because the words mean something to your dog, but because consistency is the language of safety. When your dog knows exactly what your departure looks like, they can predict what comes next. And a dog who can predict your return, even without understanding time, is a dog who can rest instead of panic. 6. What they do right before you come home. Here's something that will give you chills. Multiple studies and thousands of hours of hidden camera footage have documented the same phenomenon across hundreds of different dogs in completely different homes. Dogs often begin showing signs of anticipation 10 to 30 minutes before their owner arrives home, before the car turns onto the street, before the elevator reaches the floor, before any sound or signal that a human could detect. Your dog already knows. They go to the door, they pace, their tail begins moving, their whole body shifts into a quiet state of readiness. How? The leading theory involves scent. Your unique scent, carried on air currents, on particles that travel faster than sound, reaches your dog before you do. But there is another theory that goes even deeper.
Some researchers believe that deeply bonded dogs develop something close to an internal clock, calibrated specifically to their owner's daily rhythm. They learn the pattern of your day so precisely that their body begins preparing for your return before any external signal triggers it. Think about what that means. Your dog, alone in your home, surrounded by your smell but not your presence, has spent hours quietly building up to one single moment. The moment you walk back through that door. That running leap, that full body wiggle, that sound that is almost impossible to describe.
So the next time you
That
grab
is
your
not just
keys
excitement.
and reach for that door,
That is relief.
remember this.
So, the next time you grab your keys and reach for that door, remember this. Your dog isn't gonna curl up and wait peacefully. They're gonna feel your absence in every room. They're gonna search for your scent in every corner. They're gonna listen for sounds that never come. And then, quietly, or not so quietly, they're gonna spend every minute doing whatever it takes to get through the time until you're back. Not because they're needy, not because they're poorly trained, because you are their whole world. And a whole world walking out the door is not a small thing. Never was.
So
So love them the way they love you,
love you,
completely,
quietly,
quietly,
and without
and without
apology.
apology.